big issue. Like, if there's no confidence on that CT side, you've probably gone already. Like, the map's done.
Yeah, Ben's spot on. I mean, in a way, kind of feel like a bit of a broken record, but in terms of the set pieces and execution, two very similar maps, and the solution, you know, we've said a couple of times, so fingers crossed that is exactly what Fierce come out with.
That's right, well, this could be match point here, or will Fierce take it to a map number 3? Jackie and Snods will be taking it away.
That's absolutely right, Harry. What potentially could be our final map here if things don't go very well for Fierce. It was a bit of the Smooya show on Inferno, Snods, wasn't it?
Yeah, and surprisingly as well, obviously the limelight on Smooya, but JKem,
Oh yeah.
performing much better than anticipated. Made the joke as well going past, saying 50 hours in the past year. Most players for Fierce, 50 hours past week, and just rubs salt into the wounds. So, Fry, Fierce going to be starting the CT side as Frederick gets things started. But not before Cyril, though, the trade frag. 3 versus 4 now as Pensioners make their way on towards the B site, but Solcast Eccles silence any opportunity of that happening.
Oh, Surreal from the sideline has been able to advance, finds their head, but that is all he's getting. Not too much coming out of him into that round, and it's a good start for Fierce. They need some early momentum, Snods. They are on the CT side. There's definitely a lot of potential for them to do well here.
Fierce with the pistol round win. Mental fortitude going to be tested in this best of 3 series, having to shake off such an embarrassing and awkward loss in the first map. 16-8, but it was very, very one-sided on Fierce's map pick. Former Premiership champions. So, 4 smokes here for Pensioners. Deagle for Surreal, Lazar and Shaney. Shaney's been playing very well this tournament. The problem is, though, for Shaney, he's getting frags, getting kills, but he's never in the limelight. He never has the flashy, crazy plays, the amazing entries, the flashy op picks or flicks. Instead, he does the numbers.
Ooh, little tap. Whizzing by the head of Shaney. Big connection with the Deagle, though. As he brings Soulcast down to 33 HP. As you can see there, 10 kills this season with the Deagle. Can he add to that tally and bring it up to 11? If he turns on the heat here towards that B site. Everyone getting ready for the convergence. The tag on the cross as well. Stanley barely makes it in alive. They're revving their engines as they get ready for the Ferrari peak, Snods. They bombard their way in towards the site, but it is quickly ended with them falling flat on their faces.
2 versus 5. Making it 1 versus 5 now. Surreal, last alive. Finds one with the body shot there onto Stanley, but 1 isn't quite enough. 2-0 here for Fierce going forward into the 3rd round. Now, in terms of a bye, Pensioners are going to wait an extra round here and wait for the 4th before they do go for the full investment. So, should be seeing a strong start here with the CT side of Fierce on train 3-0. In terms of investment here, just P250s for a few of the players. Smooya, Surreal, smoking a flashbang, already going to be used. Oh, speaking of flashbangs, Jack, Eccles has got one.
Oh, Eccles accidentally even tagging a player there, switches back to the USP. Smooya will get one as he trades it. But it's just easy pickings coming through, some team damage in the commotion. Laz is the only one left. They're trying to play a game of bowlings. They'll blow him straight out the server. Nade rolls in and removes his knees. 3 rounds achieved for Fierce off the back of the pistol start. And now we start to get into the real action. Pensioners, the investment is there. Smooya on the AWP. We know what level of damage he can bring with that big green gun.
Even just in the last map as well on Inferno. So, Molotov early. Dom able to get in towards Pop Dog already. So far from Pensioners, just 2 towards B. 2 towards Team Main, and Surreal alone there towards Ali. Smooths up towards the B site though. What can he try and get onto Stanley if he does get the entry? Jacob waiting behind the smoke, get a flash for him, and take that 1 versus 1.
Jacob walking out towards the site. Knew there was a player on top of the white train initially. Smooya with the AWP arrives as well. He's a sniper with a hell of a scope, and he's taken out a cop or 2. Jacob causing a bloodbath as he finds the first. Assaults Eccles with the AK. And it's just down to 3 on the side of Fierce now. Time's ticking away as well. 50 seconds on the clock. The bomb rotating around. JKM gets control of CT. Soulcast is the only one that's in a position to potentially do something. Goes in off the back of the grenade. He's trapped at pop. You've got 2 players watching it. All angles are isolated, Snod. This has got to be a save.
Has to be. Try and get away with an M4 and an MP9 onto Fry. Dom spotted out in towards T-Spawn. Tag comes through as well from the AWP from Smooya. Both teams' money isn't in the best situation, so they may allow Soulcast to save. Jacob doesn't expect Fry to be that close, and Lazar's going the wrong way.
Lazar does find him, can't kill him. Luckily, Smooey is there. And they will make sure it's a full wipe of all players on the side of Fierce, causing the investment to be a bit more expensive for them. How's that buy actually going to look as well? You've got the 1 UMP over on Eccles, the rest of them with pretty much full utility. Soulcast is the only one that's lacking a little bit around the edges. Astro does have the AWP though, Snuts.
Smooya has his as well. Oh, he's still on the ladder when he went for the shot. Dom with the initial. Molotov going to flush out Shady. Still in towards team main, however. Question is, how do Pensioners perform on their T side when Smooya and, well, the last round Jacob, but it was Smooya that got the first kill. What happens when Smooya can't get that entry? What do they have to fall back on? Lazar clears that Pop Dog. Dom is still there. Dom with another one as well. Pensioners playing the slow game here, and this really is in favour of Fierce.
They've let them leak out ever so slightly towards this A site. Astro has vision. He's seen a tidbit of the body and knows what they're up to. Surreal should be pushed upon. She gets away with a free kill and the follow-up as well. The second flick around as he tackles Frederick. There is a man hunting him from behind. Eccles should be able to slowly walk his way in and eventually find this frag. Surreal tunnel visioned in, Snots.
Smooya conceding 8 entries, giving away the first kill to the team 8 times this season. I wonder how many times today, because when you look at the risk versus reward, he's definitely had the upper hand in terms of the favour of that.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
It's a different picture this time.
It's a different picture every time. They've really spiced it up. We should have got one with Gumps through him.
Doesn't take photos of fans.
Unfortunately not. He's too big for us these days. Yeah, he's too big for us these days. You wouldn't catch him at a Prem finals. Good old Gumpleton.
So, still very slow, passive T-side from Pensioners. When it was Revelation earlier and Reflex as well, it was such a different tempo. But Smoke in, I imagine towards, oh, I was going to say Connector, but actually it's going to go in towards Ivy. So got B Smoke, that's, if that's, well, it may be. Yeah, so it is going towards Ali. And this may allow Surreal to creep through and shoot Eccles and Co in the back. But even so, this is such a strange round.
It feels so fragmented without anything really being set in motion, even though they had some kind of play in mind at the beginning of the round. Oh, the push coming through.
Where is that smoke gone? This is so strange. Anyway, Lazar in towards Sandwich. Bomb is still left in towards Ali, Jack, so there's no real chance of them even winning the round. 20 seconds to go back and retrieve it.
Lazar knocking heads off, but couldn't keep on swinging at that point. Does go down. Astro trying to cause some kind of commotion, but it is just not working out well. As they're now left in this position, Snods. A 2 versus 3. 7 seconds on the clock. And it will just be that full save at this point. There's nothing they can do at all. I don't get what the idea was going into that round. Obviously, we saw the smoke towards Ivy. It seemed like potentially there was going to be a play with Surreal there. He then pushes once the smoke had gone. After a period of time, we lost the initial peak. I think it was Shaney when he went for the face towards the B site. It was so broken and disjointed. But obviously, there must have been some kind of idea at the start.
Round 7. 5-1. Dom. Ooh, I think I heard that from over here across the wall. Smooya slamming his desk. He went for the full investment, you can see. Him and Jacob did force. And Smooya's not happy with that one. Dom currently 10 frags. 7 rounds in.
That's a potential mind game that could actually really start to work in the favour of Fierce. Obviously, Smooya, with his comments he made about Dom earlier in the day, you can see that he's not happy about it, Snods, if he is going to have his lips removed by the lad. Fry, taking down Jacob with the first kill, watches towards the smoke, should be blind if they push through. They're actually going to go for the boost over, they dink him! 1 HP from that connection. It's not enough for the kill, but he is tagged up ridiculously low, forced to retreat and try and stay alive. Lazar and Surreal once again, and a 2 versus 4 with a limited amount of time to play with. The full rotation's going to come around. Surreal just sprinting his way down. What can they really achieve here, Snods?
Not much, it seems. 30 seconds left. AWP for Lazar. Surreal with the AUG as well. Across the map from each other. Hoping that someone peeks and gives away an easy kill and an easy entry as Surreal with the first initial one. But for me, Fry being in heaven should be the insurance policy here to win the round. 1 HP. Oh, that's a cracking shot there. Doesn't even matter if it's 1 HP. Astro creeping through. Stanley from the rear.
Stanley, stealthy as ever, doing his best Hitman impression as the silent assassin will have a flawless execution back on towards the site and gain them a 6th round, shutting it down in seconds. Fierce. They've woken up a lot more now. Their CT side's looking incredible. They're giving it going into train. We thought potentially the confidence could have been sapped out of them, Snods, but it seems like overconfidence is what's biting pensioners in the bottom. Smooya going for the constant aggressive openers. It was working on Inferno, right? He had that level of push and pull towards Banana, but you can't keep doing that here. He's not finding success right now. Going into a pause as well to try and take time to analyze what's going wrong. Maybe this is where Ross's input can give them some benefits.
6-1. Fierce looking far better here in the second map. Ross has turned up with a shirt, looking snazzy and smart.
He always looks the part. And he always plays his role.
It's weird seeing Ross and not seeing Windansky.
Yeah, or Boaster.
Or Boaster. Dead now, of course.
Other brands of Boast are available. Of course.
Oh, of course. 2 alley, 2 towards Pop. And of course, Jacob, the Lone Ranger, in towards A main. Stanley with the off angle. As the backup of Astro with the AWP. Just in case they were to push. So far, again, such a slow, methodical T side here. From Pensioners, the only real aggression we see at the start of the rounds is Dom in towards Pop Dog.
Flashbang comes in. Dom going to recoil away. Easy headshot onto Shaney as he'll be able to tap his way through him. Stanley starting to get aggressive as well. The counter push catches Lazar off guard, and the confidence is soaring for Fierce. All of their shots are hitting at this point. Pensioners just look like they're buckling under the pressure, Snods.
Ooh, down to Surreal. 1 versus 4. Short-lived as well. 7-1. Pause from Pensioners. Futile as they still end up losing the round. Heading into the 9th here. Shady still unable to get a kill. At least he has an assist, so he's not quite James Bond.
It feels like it's so fragmented. Everything's just been entirely isolated there. I mean, every kill essentially was untradeable.
Yeah, it was weird. Obviously, Shaney drops down. Lazar doesn't drop down with him. No trades, awkward plays, looking, as you said, fragmented is probably a good way of putting it, disjointed.
This is really what we saw going into the earlier weeks, where it was all hero plays all the time, but with no backbone, no core to it. There was no set piece to fall back on if things went wrong, or if one player that went for a hero play was to fall. Instead, everyone's in an isolated angle and there is just no complementing plays. They're running into these sites. Smooya now, donning the AWP once more. Talking about hero plays, if someone's going to win it for him, it will have to be him. Essentially a one-man army. They better protect their necks, Snods, as Smooya's on the hunt. Slowly moves his way up, skulking his way in behind them. The bomb is down, he'll have a free shot into the back. A Soulcast doing his Breast Z impression as he B-hops his way back out as well. 50 seconds on the clock, shows his head and gets a nice free haircut from Astro.
Bomb, left in sandwich. 40 seconds left, but Frederick gives him no chance. Round 10, 8-1. Pensioners still able to gather more rounds here. As we are into the 10th round. So, smokes towards the outside site. And they are going to commit to them. Well, Cirilla's at least. Molotov will delay him so far.
Look at that as well with the statistics. Normally a +8 round difference.
It's scary for Pensioners going onto the CT side. Cirilla with 1. Makes it to the 5 versus 4.
This is much better though. Executing on towards the site together, flashing each other in. Actually set up to trade it back if there is a frag for the opposing side. 3 on 4. They have a bit more site control to play with. If Cirilla nets this frag, it should really start to be locked down. Instead though, Fry beats back again. He's not happy. Does not want them to get any more than they absolutely need to going into this. Eccles ascends up to the elevated angle, fires down with a death from above, and once again, it's Smooya, the last remaining man, is on the site, kills the player close towards the bomb train being pushed through the smoke. He spots it, but Astro had hunkered down, locked into position. That is going to be another round. The retake was poised, and Fierce get themselves the 9th, dominating right now on their CT side, Snods. The Pensioners, they're looking like OAPs.
Looking lost. 9-1 into round 11. But this is the bye again for Pensioners. They've tried the slower pace rounds, the defaults, they get picked apart one by one. They've tried going fast. Even then it doesn't work out, but Jacob this time leading the charge. Taking matters into his own hands. Pete comes through, spots that one player in towards Connector, tagged up through the smoke as Eccles is able to annihilate him. Cirilla now joins the fray, but again, they die one by one.
Just left out to dry, really. No support, Snods. Smooya. Can he clip himself off the washing line as he pushes up? He has been able to flank round into the back position. Over by stop sign. You can see the constant flick between both angles, trying to defend it. All depends on if Soulcast would be ready. But Dom, unfortunately, gets caught off guard with the timing. No opportunity to trade it either, just a sliver of damage done. Jumping up on top of the train though, he offers himself as an open target. Shaney gets a golden opportunity when he pushes in. The timing's working well, but he was not ready for the response. And now it's up to Lazza to show what those biceps can do. They have quickly been put down. No dumbbell curls today.
This is the shot through the smoke from Eccles. And Fry as well, able to just to find them one at a time, piece by piece, making this now 10-1. Will there even be a second half to witness at this rate if it does go 14-1? And it may do with the economy still in tatters here for Pensioners. They are the maximum round loss bonus. Shaney, Jacob with AKs. 4 players here towards Ali. Just waiting for that smoke to fade.
Surely they clear this when they go through. If not, Eccles will be allowed to run absolutely rampant here. They're just walking into it, Eccles, feeding them all into the meat grinder. The ex-Fnatic Academy lad putting that org to work, Snods.
The Bombers made its way towards B. At least they were one point in the next round, but that should be all she wrote. 1 versus 4 now for Smooya. 1 versus 3, and Asterisk is going to silence it. 11-1, 10-round advantage here for Fierce going into round number 13. Seems like we'll be having a 3-map series here, Jack. This seems very different to what we saw in Inferno. Yeah. Both teams just looking dominant on the opposition's map pick.
An entire role reversal, really, of the way it's being played. It feels like the Pensioners have defeated themselves a little bit as well in the way they've been playing. They really haven't been helping each other out in that sense, and it is a bit of a struggle. Fierce eSports defense is unbreakable right now. Astro with the AWP, pushes up. He backs off. Just the time they arrive on the scene. Hang on a minute, did Dom actually get that frag through?
Wait.
He got the spam.
Surely not.
I think he did.
Find out shortly. Let's see. Coming through the smoke is Surreal. Nice shot there from him. Quick tread by Dom. Smooth the AWP towards the grey train, just picking them apart one at a time. 3 versus 2 now in favour of Pensioners.
Smooya, he's done an awful lot of work into this round, putting a shift on. Gonna keep on going. The impact is already pretty up there with the AWP. How much more stopping power does he have left to dish out? Lazza, overthrown, doesn't win that 1 versus 1. But Smooya is still connecting shots. Eccles forced to retreat at this point. There's no time, it's not worth it. Takes a firefight that he does not want to end there with Shaney. Calls it quits and bails out. Finally, Pensioners get themselves another round. 11-2 though. It's a long time coming, Snods.
It was the wallbang, you're correct. Yeah. Fry tagged him up and Dom got the kill. Cheers for the drop. 11-2. So, how do they try and replicate that round? They went for the B execution. Smooya towards Grey Train, able to destroy the players rotating from the CT side in through connector. Lazza struggling though. It feels like online where when he joined in the 2nd or 3rd week after getting the boot from Endpoint, he was looking very good, rifling.
Yeah.
Now it seems on LAN, I'm not sure what's happened, if someone else is, bringing in Surreal or Jacob into LAN, I'm not sure what it is, but it feels like he's just not comfortable. I mean, Shaney as well, 1-11 in this one. Nearly reflected the scoreline.
That is crazy. Definitely a drop off. They've fallen flat off the face of the train here. They need to get some confidence back in them. At the end of the day, Snods, as Luke Critical Green once said, Counter-Strike is confidence. Without confidence, you've already lost.
Bomb making its way out towards the A site. Solcas, 1 for 1. Surreal with the second as well, managed to get one just through the edge of the smoke onto Fry. Oh, Astro nearly lining them up there. Smooya's tag too. Molotovs will force back Astro. Eccles though, on the sly. Spots out Smooya. Noses one in towards Pop Dog. Shaney. Maybe not expecting that other player in towards Pop, and it's Astro close. Surreal, now the 1 versus 1 is on 1 HP.
Astro losing that shot and giving an opportunity to Surreal. Could have been their downfall, but Stanley will still win it, clutches it back out. 12-2. 10 rounds ahead of the Pensioners right now. Looking to try and make it 11 at the half. Absolute scene, Snods.
Round 15. 12-2. 10-round advantage here for Fierce going into the final round of the first half. The map pick from Pensioners. Maybe not the result we were expecting in this one. Lazar still waiting in towards team main. Smooya and Jacob ready with the smokes to deploy. Let's see then. Dom once again with the forward position in towards Pop Dog. It's been such an issue for Pensioners.
Lazar on the drive-by, keeps on moving. Surreal with the flick up as well, showing how rapid he can be as they start to run rampant on the site, causing an absolute scene. Everyone is going down. And it is only Astro that remains, not in the world of the living for long, taken out by Shaney. A much more fast-paced round, showing some signs of life at the end there, a little bit of a pulse. But with 3 rounds to play with, as your buffer going into this next half, Snods, it has to be flawless from the start.
12-3. Round number 60. Shaney with the defuse kit and smoke grenade. It's going to be soloing towards the B site. Fierce, maybe coming down. Pop Dog, and right into the welcome arms. Oh, I was going to say JKM, but it's actually Lazar as well. For 2. Trying to make it 3. Instead, though, now we're into a 1 versus nothing. Jacob Smooya finished the job 4-12, and if only Pensions had more rounds here, you know, 9-6, 8-7 at the half, maybe there was a chance. Crisp there from Lazar, actually.
Yeah, rapid adjustment. Oh, we said they needed to open it up with an explosive start, right? That was a quick one at the very least. They got it out of the way immediately. Now they have the superior buy as well. A bit of a car boot sale buy, Snods. Definitely living the theme right now, as they have picked up whatever they could find. The auto shotty on Shaney, the MP9 on JCam, Lazar copying suit, and Surreal finally rocking the org. Meanwhile, everyone is making a conga line back over towards Astro. Tons of time on the clock, but the only utility they have is the single flashbang. It looks like Eccles will be set up, waiting to cast that one across, throw an absolute popper, and unleash the floodgates on the A site.
Surreal, scoped in. Ready to hone his skill with the AUG. Oh, easily walk into the crossfire. Eccles and Soulcast last alive, and they just fall to the welcoming arms of Jacob and Laz with the MP9s. 12-5. This is the buy now Fierce we're waiting for. AKs and the SG again from Astro. It's so interesting, he's the only player we've really seen so far in this whole tournament that's actually invested in the SG. Everyone else investing for the AWP or AK. Jacob and Lazar going to be carrying on to, or holding on to those MP9s, carrying them forward into round number 18. So, Lazar trying to see if he can replicate the success that Dom had on his CT side and pop.
Time ticking down now. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock as they just wait this one out, seeing if there is going to be any aggression potentially from the Pensioners, trying to go for a bit of a power play. They can't really afford to. They aren't going to bother. Fierce will now set themselves up and go for that smoke execute towards the A site. That appears to be the call as they are in position. Smoke start coming in. Smooya realizes what potentially could be a foot, falls back towards E-Box, will get 1 frag for his troubles, but there's a trade back. Fry got the elimination over on towards Lazar. Eccles in the meantime has been obliterated. Stanley had a bloodlust for Smooya, and he will win that feud. 3-on-3, but the firepower is definitely more complimentary for Fierce. However, Jacob's position, it could have been critical to the success of the round. It's all up to Shaney now, the shotgun clutch master. Gets 1, gets the 2nd, but the 3rd was not meant to be. Astro, with a Krieg of all weapons, takes him down, and the 13th round goes the way of Fierce.
13-5 then. 8-round lead for Fierce, and Pensioners forced onto a weak force buy. Or for Shaney, most likely as the best spawn. But she does. To hold for the connector peak. Smooya just going to be onto a Deagle. And Lazar with the 5-7 up close, obviously, in close vicinity Is that single shot to the head kill? HG's going in and has now 21 health.
Shaney gets a frag though. Takes down Stanley as the opening pick in this one. However, him and Lazar both have been tagged up pretty badly. Going to be bloodied and bruised. Fierce eSports doing a bit of tour de train right now. Not quite sure what site they wanted to go to, but they're gravitating back round towards B. The bomb will finally arrive soon as well, as Eccles is on the great migration over to assist them. Smooya chucks out the Molotov. This will buy them a little bit of time, but they still have lots on the clock, Snods.
Smoke towards lower. Trying to force up the Molotovs maybe from Pensioners, but instead Pensioners don't really have much left. Smooya with the elevated angle, to say the least. As soon as he telegraphs where he is, the round is pretty much all said and done. Cyril gets a tag with the scout. Unable to get the actual full frag though. And they should just go 14-5, and we should be seeing overpass very, very shortly.
Pensioners forced the save on this one. Nothing they can really do. It's not worth throwing those weapons away for no reason. And that will be the 14th round. Fierce, they're getting ridiculously close. I just don't see it happening on this map to really bring it back. It does definitely look like we are going to that third map of Overpass, Nods, and Overpass could be a tricky one. Sometimes it is the map where Smooya will just absolutely live his movie, right? Anything can happen on there. Very aggressive player, normally plays very confident on it. But we saw the mistakes that were being made and how scrappy it was when they played Overpass previously.
So what have Pensioners got to deny us seeing Overpass? And it's not really too much here, Jack. Orc for Jacob. Lazar. AK in hand with the scout for Surreal. And Surreal top fragging here. 4 Pensioners on 19. So, Fierce making their way through team main into Lazar's crosshair with the AK. 4 versus 4.
Oh, Dom gifted 2 kills there as he pushes his way up. Just sprinting towards them. It's all down to Shaney and Smooya, the double S's, but I don't think they'll be having anything too superstar or sublime into this one. Smooya, at least finding a frag with a 5-7. A mere consolation prize though, as potentially not. They might actually be able to get a bit more out of this one. It could be a meatier round than I suspected. Snods Eccles in the 1 versus 2 goes for the reface. They both line up for him. The AK from Smooya proves to be too much of a nuisance, giving them that 6th round. Still the fact they're teetering on the edge. Fierce, absolutely in a position to lock this one down at any point. They cannot make mistakes on the Pensioners.
14-6. CZ by now from Fierce. Surreal going to be spotting them out. Molotov dished out. Walking into the flames, but it will be extinguished by the smoke. Surreal has too many options there. Couldn't quite decide on who to kill. Oh, Shane is here with the scout. Close up range is Eccles and Co. as the bomb is down. 2 versus 1. It's Dom with the season up close. That makes this one winnable. Jacob, 9 kills. Has to get 10 here or defuse the bomb if he wants to make this 14-7 and give Pensioners a chance.
Has the smoke. Gets it off towards the bomb. Tapping, it looks like he might actually just go for the full commit here. If he drops the flashbang, it could blind Fry. Spams into the smoke, but nothing happens. Was about to charge in there and go for the stab, but at that point it was far too late. Jacob will win it and get the defuse off. They're slowly adding to that tally, but they're 7 rounds behind Fierce now.
Round 22. Orb for Smooya. Rifles across the board. 2 orcs there for Jacob and Lazar. You see really the difference in Pop dog control between Fierce and Pensioners. Dom able to have so much impact by playing up close. Very different story here though, as Pensioners play very passive towards A. Luzza blinded himself as Fry gets that kill. Now smokes himself off Jacob though for one. And it's Eccles to find two, make this winnable here for Fierce.
Smooya getting the flick onto Eccles. They have armed him with an AWP. Still trying to get these connections off. Now left into a bit of an awkward position in terms of his health. 5 HP on Fry. Smooya on 40. Has the AWP, peeks out through stop sign and puts an end to that potential round win for Fierce. 8 rounds now. 1 by 1. They're clawing it back. They're adding to that tally. But the fact is, Fierce could just keep buying, Snods. They're getting that money back every time, that return on investment. They can keep putting these funds back in action. And it's not like Pensioners are winning these rounds with any dominance either. It's going right down to the wire. They're always scrappy, so they're so costly for them. Shaney, however, wants to completely destroy them. With the headshots coming through, a show-stopping play. Fry now wants to make his own mark on the round. 3K for him this far. Here's the player behind as well, causing a bit of a commotion, but wasn't ready for the spam through the smoke. Lazar will take him down. And Pensioners get themselves to 9.
(14-9). Maybe this is starting to be scary for Fierce. But now it is the buy again from the T's. No AWP for Fierce, or for Astro specifically. Fierce very comfortable in playing that 5 rifle setup. Flash goes out, Cyrilla's blind, Stanley able to get out now towards Electric.
It's going to go rolling past him. He's getting heavily tagged, brought down to 22 HP, but he was able to walk through the smoke the entire way. The flashbang support there. Fantastic execution from Eccles. And it's a 3 versus 3, Snods. This one's going to be a tight affair. Stanley doing damage. If he would have got the kill on Smooya, it could have been such a detriment to the round. Instead, they keep it close once again. Rotation back around. Smooya coming over to assist Shaney by a connector. They have a ton of utility. They've still got flashes. They've got smokes. They have a Molotov. Soulcast gives his position away by stop sign. They'll use the molly to isolate him. He's burning in it. It's a Dominic barbecue, Snods. But they're out on the scene. They do not have much time, though. If they're going to win this round, they've got to commit to it soon. Smooya finds the first, the spam. The paranoia is kicking in. He cannot come off the bomb. The knife's going to come in. Soulcast, he's missing it. He couldn't find it. The round slips away just like that. He needs a bigger blade.
He does. How ironic. He was just at a Rapids concert who was called Blade. Now he can't even deliver the goods when it's needed. 14-10. Where on earth is he trying to knife there?
I think he got stuck on the side of the bomb
And he's from
train.
South London.
It's because he got stuck on the back of bomb train. So in his mind, obviously, he's running forward. You've got stuck on something in the smoke, and you've gone, it's him. Like, obviously, that's him. And just started knifing. That's the only explanation. That's a rough round to lose, though. That's a frustrating one. It's one of those that you start thinking about yourself as well. It plagues on your mind if you're the person in that scenario.
Pensioners pause. Maybe trying to cool down after the excitement of that clutch from Smooya. Really, is that Smooya's amazing play or Dom's poor play?
Just an unexpected one.
Unexpected journey.
Yeah. The desolation of Dom.
God, you can see that round's just overplaying his head right now. Oof.
He needs to try and let that
Oh God.
be in the pass. Keep his game face on. And get back into it as we delve back into the action.
So, fast play in towards Pop Dog. But Pensioners playing passive and ready for this one. as they fall back with the Molotovs. Smoothie with the initial entry. Still heading towards green train. Astro struggling to get the kill, but eventually will bring it forward. And now 4 versus 2. Pensioners flop in a matter of seconds.
Pause hasn't worked out too well for them. As all the confidence has come rushing back to Fierce. Smooya dinked as well and taken down. And it goes 15-10. Now it's got to be OT, Snods. They cannot win it in regulation anymore. All the commotion from that round has definitely not taken any of the energy that Fierce are displaying.
Round 26. Jake, there we go. Ooh, Fry, there he goes. 15-10, maybe 16 at this rate, as this is going to be the 2 versus 5.
Well, that's
There you
it. As easy as that. As they get onto the site, 16-10, they close it down in a matter of seconds. Fierce eSports, they are going to close it out in the end. A bit of a scrappy one at portions. It seemed like there was a big rebuttal, a response there for the Pensioners side, but it was not meant to be, meaning we will go to a third and final map, Snods. One last chance for them to prove themselves.
And it will be overpass. Question is, double up setup coming out from Lazza and Smooya. How effective will it be? That's a conversation for not us, Jack, but for Harry.